Hi, welcome back to this 10-part series about pools, lagoons, hot springs, spas, geothermal experiences, the ones aimed at tourists, the shiny ones that involve hot water. We're up to episode 7 and we're going this week to Vök Baths, which is all the way out in the east, just outside Iceland. I went there this summer for the first time and let's see what it's like. So Vök Baths is... It's got a unique selling point. Most of them, the unique selling point is we had some hot water, we want people to pay to go in it. This one has got Iceland's only floating infinity pools. It's got 2 hexagonal, didn't count the sides, but let's say hexagonal pools that just are floating in a freshwater lake. So that is interesting, but let's see, does that make a difference to its scores? Is it accessible by public transport is always the first question, and as usual the answer is no, it isn't. I mean, the ring road is a couple of 100 metres away. If you've got a nice bus driver, you might be able to ask them, could you drop me off at the junction, and then it's a very short walk up. But no, there isn't a bus stop, it isn't on public transport, it's on tours. The Grey Line bus was there as I arrived, picking up a load, but you're going to want a car for this one again, so 0 points public transport. It does have private showers, proper private showers. I filmed myself washing my hair in it this summer, so I know that for certain. So yes, point for private showers, no points public transport. I think the next one I do is facilities. So this is another awkward one. Is it swimmable and does it have hot tubs? Just like GOC, it's somewhere in between. You can't really swim in it, but it's too big to be called a hot tub, but it doesn't deserve to not get points. So once again, I'm splitting a point between those two. It gets a point for facilities, but yeah, it kind of has hot tubs, kind of doesn't. What it does have is a steam room, definitely has a steam room, doesn't have a sauna, but it does have a steam room. And this one has extra facilities in the form of a cold mist corridor walk thing directly outside. I think that was great fun. I don't think I went in the steam room, so I think it was a bit busy, but I did run through the steam run and yeah, I enjoyed that. So 3 points for facilities. And next up is the in-water experience, and I start this as usual with drinks. Yes, there is an in-water bar powered by your electronic wristband. So there are 2 hot pools floating in the lake, and then you've got a hot pool back on dry land separated from them by a bridge. The bridge is very slippery, so they've put down this very uncomfortable sort of plasticky matting that you're supposed to scurry along. Proper humpback bridge as well, bit of an epic. Yes, the bar is back in the pool on dry land, so there's that. It doesn't have any fun extras. You can hire a towel, you can hire a robe. Again, I really wouldn't bother with the robe. I think this one is one where you can you go straight into the water from outside? Can't remember. It's not far anyway. And yeah, robes you can have, towels. Yeah, it's nice to be able to hire a towel so you don't have to take your own and carry it around wet. And then the view, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 3. It's not quite such a solid and definite 3 out of 3 as GSE got, but it's in a lake. You're overlooking a lake, you're overlooking woodland, because the east of Iceland is quite wooded. You can tell when you come out of the lava field if you're coming from the north, because it suddenly turns very green and very treey. And I said treey in the video in the summer, and then corrected myself because tree is not a word, but trees start appearing. So there's trees, there's lakes, there's low mountains and hills. It's a nice view. I can't not give it 3 out of 3. So that brings the in-water experience to actually 6 points. I've written down 5, but no, it comes to 6. Well, next, vibes, what I think of it, polar bear points. I'm not a huge fan. I came out of it and said I would rather just go to the swimming pool back in Iceland. The hot pools in the lake are very nice, but they're not big enough. There are benches around the edge, but you can't sit on them, so you have to sort of squat awkwardly in the middle. Like, that's all you can do. You can't swim around. You just sort of relax. It's very hard to relax when you're just standing in the water. So yeah, I can see they look very beautiful. If it's a bit quieter, I would probably love it. If I got it to myself on a winter day, I would probably have this up quite high, but I did not love it personally. There's nothing specifically I can criticise apart from there were too many people in it, and that is a criticism you can level at just about anything in Iceland these days. Iceland is very touristy these days. Yeah, 1 out of 3 I think for polar bear points. Let's get on to the price. How much does this one cost? So a basic adult daytime, no frills, I'm sure you've learnt this one by now, entry is 6,490 krona, which translates as about £39. So that's a little bit more than the last couple have been, and that actually loses it a point. We're in the more expensive half of these pools, so yeah, loses a point. So what have we got altogether? We've got point for showers, 3 points for facilities, 6 points for in-water experience, 1 point for vibe, minus that point again for the price, takes us up to 10 points altogether. If that sounds familiar. Climber last week, the week before, and GSE last week, all scored 10 points, so that's 10 for the last 3 in a row, which means those 3 beat the Secret Lagoon on 8.5, still at the bottom, and the Blue Lagoon at 9.5. And then above Climber, GSE and Vök are Mira Nature Baths on 12.5 points and Fontana at 17.5 points. Do I think that is a fair place for Vök to be sitting? Again, I'm surprised it's better than the Blue Lagoon. I think it's less than some of its parts, this one personally. Yeah, I don't think 10... I don't think 10 is unreasonable. I don't like that it's sitting higher than some of the others, but I don't think it's entirely unreasonable. This is going to sound very much like a video about how much I hate Vök Baths. I like Vök Baths, I just wouldn't go back to it again myself because I'd rather just go to an ordinary pool. Yeah, that's quite a damning indictment of it, isn't it? I would rather go to an ordinary pool. Yeah, I think my least favourite of the 7 I've covered so far. So, but we've still got 3 to go. We'll find out how those get on. So I'll see you next week when we're at the Sky Lagoon, the one in downtown Reykjavik, more or less. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.